Has it begun?
Yeah, it's
It started?
recording.
Okay. Now I'm gonna turn mine on. So we'll just let you get started, Mahmoud.
Is it easier for you if I do walk?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We start.
Yes, you can start, yeah.
Good morning, Costain. Thank you for your time and for here to take the interview.
Yes.
My name is Mahmoud Alam and I'm the product manager. And before we begin, let me introduce you with the structure of the interview. So
Okay.
first, we'll go through your skills, your background, and then your experience that you have applied for the role.
Perfect.
So let's get started. Can you please tell me about yourself?
Yeah, well, as you already know, I'm Costain. I currently live in Amsterdam, and well, first of all, thank you for having me for this interview, because I saw the application. I got really excited to join your Landal Park. I'm very happy with that, thank you. I live in Amsterdam. I have a lot of experience in makeup artistry, which I think, since I'm applying for HR, it kind of goes hand in hand in my experience. Live in Amsterdam. My hobbies are horseback riding, golfing, drawing even. Yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Oh, great. Yes, I have seen a lot of experience on makeup artist. That's really great. So your experience as a makeup artist demonstrates that your creativity and ability to work with busy environments. So how do you, HR manager, how do you plan to use these skills to meet the specific demands of your work?
Yeah, it's within the makeup artistry, it's a lot of different dynamics, right? So you have a strong form of hierarchy, you have a lot of different people working on set, and I think I can translate that really well into the field of HR. So I can talk to multiple different people, I can understand dynamics, talk to everyone, have a great relationship with everyone at the same time. So it kind of gave me the ability to multitask, I think, which is needed.
Great. So do you have any previous work experience as HR or related to this kind of jobs?
No, not specifically in HR, but again, the experience that I've gained in my previous jobs, that maybe the description wasn't at all HR, did really, I think, prepare me for a function like this.
Oh, great. So how would you approach employee training and development to ensure that staff members are equipped with necessary skills?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think one of the vital parts of the job as well. Well, in the past, I've done some trainings with the makeup team that I supervised, and it was also hand in hand with a job rotation. So we would all pick a task out of a hat that someone else in the makeup or hair department did, and we rotated it, and it shows you how the other people are working. And I think within a team, that is the most valuable thing.
Oh,
So
great. So
if you understand that.
So when you were a makeup artist, you worked as a team, right?
Yeah.
So there you were the most high position, or you had your assistants like that?
In some of the jobs, yes, it was a long road to start as an intern, then an assistant, then the makeup artist, then the head, as we call it.
Great. So you have an assistant who assists you during makeup.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
At some jobs 4 or 5 even. So.
So you also give. I mean to say, you also give them how to do their work or make them better, right?
Yeah. So it's all about teaching, them asking questions, me guiding them, but still letting them do their own thing. So you don't want to shelter a team too much. You want to let them experience as well. I think that's an important part of it.
Great. So as a makeup artist, you have experience working with clients to understand their needs and preference. So how would you apply this client-focused approach to employee relations as part to ensure a positive work environment?
If I understand it right, it's about how to go along with customers,
Exactly.
right? Like
Yeah.
how to make their stay as comfortable as possible.
Yes, that's
also a very good question. I would have to say that, and it sounds quite cheesy, but customer is king. So it's all about applying the reviews, even though you might be programmed to think otherwise, or another path of action is what you've been taught is the best way. But I think still listening, applying those reviews is the best thing that you have to do for customer satisfaction.
Okay. So I have a different question. If you would be a character from a movie, who would you be and why?
Nice question. Well, I would like to do some kind of superhero, but I think that doesn't truly apply to me. I would say from the Dead Poets Society, you have the teacher. It's one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite movie characters, and I think what it says about someone is that it's thinking outside of the box and love to teach people stuff, but still let them gain that knowledge in their own unique ways. So I think that would be a movie character, I would say. I would aspire to be.
So that's a nice answer. So resorts, like the perks, have like seasonal fluctuations.
Mhm.
Sometimes we need a lot of staffs.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't need them. If we have a lot of staffs, we have to give a lot of money to them. So that's a loss for us. So how do you prefer that? How do you manage that one if we have this kind of problem?
So if I understand how to deal with a problem when there's too much staff.
Yeah, but we don't have much, much guests right now, but
Mhm.
we have a lot of staff.
Yeah.
So if there is a situation like that, how do you deal with it?
I think a vital part comes in where it's also kind of creating jobs almost, or spend that time actually investing in the staff through trainings. So if they're not necessarily needed, give them a training. So they are not usable for the 9 to 5 because there's just, the workload is less in some seasons. And take that opportunity to train them to be better when the high seasons are coming again.
Okay. It was great speaking with you and learning about you. That's really nice. And do you have any questions?
Yeah, I did have one question, because as much as I love working, I also love traveling. I have family living abroad, which I do need to visit. So I was wondering, like vacation days, which I'm not planning on taking that often, but during Christmas, how much time in advance would I need to notify you that I can actually go?
You have to let us know before like 2 months at least.
Okay.
Then it will be fine.
Okay.
Then we'll let you know.
Okay.
Then you can go or not.
Good. Okay.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you for today.
Okay, good. Let's imagine that Costan has been invited back for a second interview, and I'm going to interview him.
Yeah.
Okay? So, just imagine that he's come back now for a second time, and I'm going to ask him a couple of questions, okay? And you can ask another one if you think of it. I only have like 3 questions, okay? Talk to me about, it's a very standard question, but I would like to find out, in a very succinct way, what are your strong points and what are your weak points? Just that.
My strong points would have to be, a very practical one would be time management.
Good.
So I can really, always on time, very punctual, I can really see how much time something is going to take.
How long something is going to take, that's also part of time management.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very good,
Yeah, so that I would say is one of my strong points. Also working in a team, I like that. I like the challenge of a cultural diverse group, different demographics, different ages, that instead of seeing it as something that might make it hard, I see it as a really fun challenge for everyone to learn besides of their job description. I like that as well.
Yeah.
My weak points, I think at times I can be, if something goes terribly wrong, and I think it has been explained quite well, sometimes I can be a bit too sharp with giving feedback.
I get it.
Up till the point where it might not be as productive anymore as everyone would like it to be.
Okay.
That would be something I would like to work on.
Okay. Every day when you come to work here at Landau, there are 50 50 different tasks a day, let's say. Some big, some small. How would you go about prioritizing 50 different tasks?
Would that be for me personally or delegating to a team?
A combination of what you need to do and what you need to delegate. How do you prioritize your tasks for the coming day?
Well, of course, the time management thing comes at play here. So if I'm looking at the tasks, you start with the urgent one for the day afterwards.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but also sometimes something is due in 2 days.
Yeah.
But if it's not delivered in 2 days,
Yeah.
it would have. It's not a catastrophe, and
Right.
you rather focus on something for the day afterwards, which does have a lot of. So I think it's just put it next to each other, time sensitivity and what is the actual outcome of when it's finished.
Yeah. Okay.
And match those up.
Okay, good, thank you. And my final question, it's all non sequitur, but what is one of the greatest challenges you ever had to overcome in a work situation? And if you haven't worked enough to think of something, perhaps even in a social situation, but I don't want it to get too personal.
No.
So what is one of the biggest obstacles you have had to overcome in a work situation, or if you need to in a social, private situation?
Yeah, I think I'm quite an accommodating person. So I
Okay.
would like everyone to feel comfortable and nice, and there has been an instance in which I have tried my best to do that, and someone really saw it as manipulative and not nice of me to do it. Like I've had a second agenda, which was quite childish. So you have to you're in a professional work environment and you have to navigate how do you go about someone who is behavior-wise still in high school? How do you navigate that? And that was quite hard. Yeah, that was quite hard.
Okay.
But through personal talks and mostly also ignoring the attempts to provoke a reaction. I think it went quite smoothly.
Okay, good. That's a nice example. Thank you very much. Those are the only 3 questions I wanted to ask you, and we're finished. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Okay.
Thank you.
He can leave now, right? He's finished, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah. The reason I did that is because I felt like you didn't give him enough questions to really make him shine. It's really up to him he needs to be able to shine. And the only way he can do that basically is through you asking him a lot of questions. You asked good questions, but I needed to get more from Costain to be able to assess him. And that's why I jumped in. And I've done that a few times, by the way, already. You're not the first time. Don't what's the word? Don't be offended. Okay? Don't be offended. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to get more out of you. Yeah? Okay. Your feedback, how was it for you to do it? And then I give feedback, and I give you both a grade. Yeah? Would you like to start, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, first time.
Okay.
Or should I start?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, you did really great, and you showed actually who you are and what you can do, especially when Nick asked you those 3 questions, and also the question that Mahmoud asked you. So you gave really good answer on that, I think. And also the eye contact is there, and how you use your hands on explaining things. It's also good.
Thank you.
And for Mahmoud, the eye contact is really there, and you also ask good questions,
Yeah.
and you're also well postured, like you sit like this and ask him a question, and then like Monique said, you could have asked some sub-questions on the other questions that you have, like he said like customer is king. It's just an example, don't have to do, but yeah, it's customer is king. You could have asked him like why do you think customer is king, in what way? And so you could have asked some questions on that.
Okay. What's you, young lady?
I have for verbal behavior, you both are really like talking in a nice pace, not too fast, not too slow. And as Casey said, like you talking with your hands, good posture, both of you. And conversation was, you speak really clear, you also do. Good eye contact. And then like content-wise, I liked your introductory, and first question to ask him to tell more about himself. Really nice. And then also like questions prepared, but indeed you could have asked more sub questions that just come up like spontaneously or something. And I like that you talked about your experience in the past and you linked the makeup experience with like the job. Really like that. And then you like made sure that you understood his question right by repeating it. So I really like that. And yeah, that was it.
Good. Yeah, nice generous feedback. Very good. How was it for you to do it?
Yeah, it was. I was also thinking that I should have asked more questions when he was answering, because I have seen 2 more interviews. They asked a lot of questions. Then I felt like I should have asked more questions, and he answered really nicely.
Didn't he? Yeah.
He answered really nicely, even though one of the questions was a little bit unclear, but he cleared it. He understood that.
Yeah. Which question was
I
that?
was really happy with it. It was, as a makeup artist, how do you understand your clients and preference?
Oh, yeah.
But he understood that well. Yeah, he
Okay.
did well.
But I'm asking about you. How do you, and how, well,
Yeah, myself, I should have asked more questions.
okay. But other than that, how did it feel to do it?
This was my first interview
Okay.
asking questions.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Being a product manager.
Yeah, right?
So
Yeah.
I felt it was not that easy, but
Okay.
a little bit easy.
Okay, good. Well, you did fine. Yeah, okay. And how was it for you to do it?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I sort of caught you off guard there.
Yeah, but I like
yeah.
that as well.
You
I
like that
a
as
bit
well.
of, I can't like prepare these things to the T. I like to improvise. I think the answers are more authentic that way. So I like when there are like curveballs thrown in there.
Yeah, and I've done it, this is the 3rd or 4th time I've done it this term, because I needed the applicant to give that person a chance to shine, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to pass you or something. Okay, good. My feedback is as follows. Mahoud. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Mahoud? Okay. You had a very clear line of questioning. I really did like the questions that you asked. It was also somewhat conversational, which I've brought that up in the past as feedback, and either you overheard somebody say that Monique likes it when it's conversational, or it just came naturally to you. I don't know. You seem genuinely interested in what Costain had to say and in his answers. I could see that in your body language and in your eye contact with him. That was really good. My tip is, I have a couple of tips if you're okay with that. I think it was Casey, you said that the pacing was fine, or you said the pacing was fine, I'm not sure. I thought for me it was a tiny bit fast, but maybe it's because I don't speak to you ever, so I have to really listen more closely to you. So I would slow down with someone who maybe never really listened to you before. You didn't have quite enough questions, but that's okay, I filled it in, and then that's fine. What was the other thing I was going to say? No, that's it. But the questions that you prepared were very good, and you made him feel comfortable, and you passed with a sufficient. Okay? Okay. Costain, you answered, let's see, here we go. Costain, he was very natural, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, oh, we're having a conversation, I'm sitting at the bar and just having a conversation. It seemed like very, very natural, yeah? No issues, no, what's the word? Whatever the opposite is of authentic. You weren't fake or anything. Very conversational. It's very tricky because you're in a position where you were very honest about your real work experience, but you're applying for something where you don't have any experience in really. And it's always a tricky position, especially at your age, because you don't have a lot of work experience yet. So you did a really good job, I thought you did, of connecting the skills you've gained in other work with this job. And you did that a few times, showing that the skills and interests you have from the past and say today, that they transfer to the Landau Parks job. That's really good. Much like Mahmoud, you seemed very invested in the interview, so you really were interested. You kept, I said it here again, you kept connecting the past. Oh yeah, you kept connecting your past experiences to the potential job you might get at Landau. You answered the question about the staff. There was a question you asked him about staff, and all I wrote here is that you answered it really smartly. What was the question again? Something about.
If there is less staff.
Yeah, that
on the
was it.
forecast.
Yeah, and I thought he answered that really smartly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cleverly. Like how would you manage the time that you still have to keep paying these people? They might as well do some kind of work for you. That was a really smart answer. Yeah, yeah. So, and I'm going to give you a G for a good. Yeah, very good. And when will I see you guys again? Will I see you anymore? I'll see you again. I think
Yeah.
next week is our last week. And I'll see Rebecca, and I'll probably see you again next week, and I'll see Daniel, it looks like, and Costain.
Yeah, only Casey is the last time today.
Say again?
Only Casey is the last time today.
Only Casey's the last time today. Well, Casey, it's been a real pleasure, honey. Let's see, Casey, where do I have you? Have I got, oh yeah, Casey, here I got you. Yep. It's been a real pleasure, madam, knowing you. So I won't see you until, well, I won't see you for a while. No, maybe next term. I won't have you in any classes, I don't think. But
Maybe somewhere in the hall.
In the halls.
in the hallway, yeah. And Rebecca, I will see you, it looks like you're going to be, oh, you're going to be interviewed, it looks like from my schedule. Ah, yeah. Hey, did you guys exchange questions? Did you send him, Costain, the questions?
I've read them this morning.
You read them this morning. Okay, very good, yeah. You might want to do that. You're going to interview, Costain is
I'm
going
gonna
to
interview
her, yeah. So if you want to share the questions, you don't have to, by the way. But you
I like it when it's, but that's whatever works for you. We're gonna do.
Okay, so I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and have a good afternoon. You know what's going to happen in this room in the next, after half an hour?
The workshops for
The successful teamers. How did you know that?
Well, the schedule tonight,
Oh, right.
and I talked